Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Rachel Garceau with this First Alert Weather Plus forecast for the week of Thanksgiving. Here's what's on the way. So we'll see very low shower chances starting up on Monday and just kind of coming and going all week. I don't see any day that's a washout or a snow out up in the mountains necessarily, but still we'll keep some very low rain coverage in place from Monday. Then again, Wednesday through the weekend. Temperatures, though, remain slightly above average at least through Thanksgiving, likely beyond. However, the weekend after Thanksgiving, our last couple days of November, we do see a shot of colder air coming in that could bring in the coldest temperatures of the year so far. That's by this next Sunday. So here's what that looks like on our 10-day high temp trend. Remember, normally as we head towards the end of the month and the Thanksgiving holiday, highs normally hover in the mid-40s. So I do think we'll see above average conditions every afternoon. Thanksgiving looking nice, a high of 50, very low rain chances. But look at this, by next weekend as we wrap up November on Sunday, head into December on Monday, we see those highs in Boise dip into the 30s. Again, this is still pretty far out in the world of meteorology, so take these temperatures with a grain of salt, but it does look likely that we will see a cold snap coming in that will be associated as well with some precipitation. So snow flurries all the way to valley floors, not out of the question, and here's why. In the morning when we see that cool down, temperatures will be down into the 20s, plenty cold enough to support some snow. So you get cold temperatures like this. If it happens to coincide with some precipitation, which it could, again, can't rule out the chance of a little bit of snow or wintry mix down to valley floors in the Treasure and Magic Valleys by this next weekend. But you can see precipitation chances very low, all things considered, but still not non-existent from Wednesday through the weekend. On Thanksgiving, I don't know that we'll see much in the way of any rain, but I am keeping a mention in there. And here's why. Here's this setup. So we'll talk about that big picture setup. So Monday's system will trek through. It'll bring some showers early in the morning, some very light snow above maybe 5,000 or 6,000 feet. After that, high pressure starts to build in. So we'll be on the northern edge of that high pressure for most of the week, and a plume of moisture will set up and ride kind of up and over that ridge. So we'll be on the northern periphery, which means we'll just keep some clouds in play with the cloud cover and the moisture and just a little bit of lift in the atmosphere each day. We could have a couple showers firing off. Again, not seeing anything significant in the way of snow. But here we are early in the week. This system scoots by to the north. By Monday morning, again, some very light snow, a spot rain shower possible in the valleys, enough to maybe warrant not washing the car on Monday. I don't think this might be the best week to wash the car in general. On Tuesday, we start seeing this system pushing into the Pacific Northwest. We are dry, mostly cloudy and cool on Tuesday. Winds from Monday will die down by Tuesday as well. You can see this plume of moisture. Again, high pressure. Yeah, that's why we get this direction kind of riding up and over that ridge. But by Wednesday morning, I think the ridge erodes just enough. We could bring another spot shower to the valley. We could see more light accumulating snow, with snow levels dropping this time, especially with the morning component of that system. So again, light snow coming and going each and every day from Wednesday through Saturday into Sunday. Nothing all that major. In fact, it looks like by Monday, maybe an inch or less possible from at the 5,000 foot mark in the mountains. We could see a couple inches above 6,000 feet. And then for the rest of the week, we could just tack on an inch here, an inch there. So not the dumping of snow that our ski resorts would like to get, but at this point, in what's been a very uneventful snow season, ski resorts will take any little bit that they can get. And colder air coming in next week, and it's good news as well, because that means any snow that does fall will hopefully stick around and not melt away. All right, let's talk temperatures across the region. If you do have travel plans, maybe you're headed to the west over the next several days. Again, outside of some rain and snow on Monday, Tuesday will be a very good travel day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just like here off to the west, we'll likely see those very low precipitation chances coming in. But Boise, upper 40s on Monday. Our mountains in the mid 30s. You can see our temperatures on par with Seattle and Portland to kick off the work week. We hold steady in those 40s. Not a big change on Tuesday. By Wednesday, we see a little boost in temperatures as that high pressure builds in from the south. So no big temperature changes day to day. And that is keeping in line with our November so far as being above normal. Remember, each and every day, at least through Sunday, at the time of this recording, we had clocked an above average temperature. That means 23 days in a row milder than normal. And as we look at the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for December that was just recently published, where we start seeing on this temperature trend map, start seeing kind of these oranges or tan colors, that's where the Climate Prediction Center is estimating that temperatures will likely trend a little bit warmer than normal during the month of December. December, where we start seeing the grays and blues. Those are areas that might trend a little bit cooler than normal. So in our neck of the woods across Idaho, Pacific Northwest, where we kind of see the white, that means that most meteorologists and long-range experts think that we will just sit right about normal for the month of December. That's for temperatures. As we talk about precipitation coming in, this is our precipitation outlook for the month of December. Again, where you start seeing kind of the white colors means we'll likely be on par with normal. Where we start seeing the tans and oranges, those areas are expected to trend a little bit drier than normal, and that does appear to be the outlook, at least at this moment, for southwest Idaho. So temperatures about normal, could be just a little bit drier than average heading into the month of December, but still I do think that is very likely when we should see our first snowfall sometime next month here in the Boise area. Again, could happen over this next weekend. Very light snow possible with that system coming in that will bring in a blast of colder air. So in the mountains, you can see the rain and snow coming and going depending on what elevation you're at. And of course, temperatures will depend what type of precipitation you see. But again, we should tack on a couple inches every time we see a chance of precipitation from Thanksgiving on. High temperatures, though, still not all that frigid. We'll be in the mid to upper 30s to around 40 from Monday through Friday. So those milder than normal conditions continue. Looking at the 7-day outlook for Twin Falls through the Thanksgiving holiday, a windy Monday. There will be a wind advisory in place Monday east of Twin Falls for wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour or so. Temperatures will hold steady in slightly warmer than normal territory for most of the Thanksgiving week. And for the Boise area, after that windy Monday, nice Tuesday, frigid start on Tuesday, though. Temperatures again down into the 20s. We'll see a little bit of a warm up heading into the Thanksgiving holiday, up to 50 degrees, so a few degrees warmer than is typical. Maybe not a ton of sunshine on the holiday, but those rain chances remain very slim. And if you are heading out maybe over the river and through the woods after Thanksgiving, you can see heading into the weekend, we'll see those temperatures start to slide on Friday, Saturday, and especially on Sunday. In fact, by Sunday, we'll see those highs in just the upper 30s, coinciding with some precipitation chances. That's where we could see a snowflake or two potentially down to valley floors. Thanks so much for tuning into this First Alert Weather Plus forecast. We'll catch you next time.